Good morning. You know, I feel like when we say good morning, it's like, are we limiting ourselves to be a morning show?
No, because of how we say morning because of you.
Okay, because it's morning all the time to me. I tell people that. They be so confused. But anyways, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on Talk to Them. I'm Kennitha Wade.
And I'm Renauda Mitchell.
And this is our episode 16, I think we said. It's our 16th episode, 15th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, hopefully by the time you see this one, we sound a little
more seasoned.
Yeah. We getting there.
We trying.
Right. All right. What are we going to talk about today?
At first, I feel like we need to get back into this morning thing real quick, just so people don't think we're crazy.
Okay.
So when I first met her, no matter what time of day it was, she would say, morning. And I'm like, the first time she said in the afternoon, I'm like, she made me check my phone. Like, wait, what? And I'm like, it's not morning. And she's like, well, it's always morning to me. And I was like, okay.
You know where it came from. It came from my sister-in-law. And I don't know if she got it from my cousin or if it was just her original thing, but she says good morning all the time.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that you hear at first, the same thing. Everybody has that same reaction, but then you start to pick up on it. And for me, I think I've kept it going because typically the morning is like a good part of the day, right? You haven't had an opportunity for some BS to come. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You waking up, you realize your eyes is open, you breathing, and you should be having a good day at that point.
She sounds like a morning person.
Right? I'm not really, I don't know. I've adjusted.
That's how that sounds.
I've adjusted.
Yeah, because you got to be up.
Right. So, you know, the morning is like, I wake up, the kids asleep. In my house is quiet.
Right.
I do some laundry. I do some dishes. And then I'm like, okay, I got to hurry up and get out the door. My butt be running late because I done sat in that morning time and got some stuff done in the peace and quiet of just my house. So so for me, good morning is like my way to say, hi, hope you have a good day. Like, you know, smile a little bit. You awake. You here. Like, good morning.
Low key wishing peace on people.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I say it all the time. My daughter says it all the time, who also had the wait. What? It's not. And my daughter is a very technical little Virgo. If it's 4:59 and you like, it's 5 o'clock, she'll be like, is it? Yes, it is. So, or the whole down the street, I'm down the street. She'll be like, are you really down the street or are you're down the street? So anyway, now she even says morning at all different times of day and night. So when we say good morning, well, it is actually morning for us, but it's not just, you know, limiting. I don't want to be a morning talk show type situation. I mean, we could be if it fits, but
I think this explanation does make sense because I do wonder about that every time we record. We're like, good morning for one, because we record first thing in the morning. Right. But two, I mean, it's more than just that. It's like, for real, good morning.
Yeah, you don't have to have us with your coffee, but you can.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully you like listening to our voices.
Right.
I think we probably sound a little bit sexy on the microphone a little bit sometimes, especially first thing in the morning.
Right.
I did brush my teeth and all that, you know, but it's right. It's not like a nighttime.
Right. We're like,
I woke up like this.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. So, on the list of things to talk about today. Today
we're going to talk about in our week, some things that we experienced that kind of brought like, let's talk about that. And so one of the things we said we'll talk about was growth, you know, when you're moving on to a new chapter in life, whether it's just in everyday life or in work or whatever, you know, whatever it is that you're experiencing when you start to elevate and moving on, what that kind of looks like sometimes. And micromanaging, right?
Yes. Which sometimes can kick off the growth. I guess we could talk about the micromanaging thing. So at work this week, you know, you have those all staff meetings or, you know, meetings with the people who are like issue at your job, right? So I work in housing. So all the housing team, we had an all housing team meeting. And they just were talking about management, talking about some things and implementing some things. And somebody thought they was on mute and was like, I just feel micromanaged. And I was like, and then, so my supervisor ain't no punk. So she was like, excuse me, you have something you want to say? And then she like, you know, And then they didn't say anything. And then you see their microphone go on mute. And then so she gets into, well, it's not being micromanaged. You know, like we have contracts, we have dots and T's and all this stuff, right? Like they don't understand the particular, I'm not going to say their name, but the particular program that we're under is very strict about everything. Like what you spend that 3 cents on, make it make sense. Like they're not playing in that. Add up. Right. And that goes not just from how we spend money, but how we interact with people, how we clock in and out, how like all of these things, how we spend our time when we're not with participants, all that. I understand it. I've been under strict programs before, but some people are just like, since COVID, and people being able to work from home in an industry where they told us we were not able to work from home because we had to be in the office to be doing X, Y, and Z. Now people are being able to work from home and people feel like, oh, this should be hybrid, or why can't I do this from home? Because the contract don't say that you can. Don't say that you can't. But a lot of times with our contracts, if it doesn't say that you can, then you can't. And it's supposed to be field work or in office work. And excuse me, thank you. You know, people been having a problem clocking in and out, and I'm one of them because I went from being either at agencies where you just put in your time and you work 8 hours a day, or being salaried and you don't have to clock in and out because they're paying you the same thing regardless. And so I've been struggling the last couple months to be like, not, you know, I might clock in late, so I got to adjust it, this, that, and the other. They want you to turn on your geolocation so it shows where you're clocking in and out at. Just a bunch of different stuff, which when you're thinking about it from somebody who is managing or has managed people, you understand the process. But a lot of folks are like, y'all micromanaging us. Y'all just want to see where we at and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, it doesn't track you all day. Just if you say, oh, I'm over at this building and you clock in, but it says you at the beach. Either something's wrong with the program or something's wrong with your program. You know, and it was just funny. And I was like, just thinking about the differences of y'all feel micromanaged because they want us to follow some programs. I've really been micromanaged. Here, do this. Do this like this. How did you do this? Make sure you do this. Don't forget to do this. That's micromanaging.
Yeah, they're just checking your accuracy or where you at. Like,
right.
You know, holding you accountable for what you say you're doing. Yeah.
Because there's people who disappear. You be like, what did you do all day? I was with so-and-so. Really? Because so-and-so was with so-and-so. And then it'd be like, oh, well, no. And it's not because of that, but it's also to kind of discourage that type of behavior. But I just thought it was just so weird. I'm like, y'all don't know what micromanaging is. But it was a large group of people who felt micromanaged. And to me, I was like, that just says something that you don't realize you're saying. So I thought that was just weird. Have you felt micromanaged before?
I have. And I think about like right now in my current position, I don't feel micromanaged at all. Sometimes I feel like I don't have enough direction. Like I get to make my own way. And then sometimes I just don't have anything to do with the way that I've made or what I have to do in the moment. And so I use my time to, you know, work on other things that are helpful maybe to the union, but, you know, not necessarily like my current task at hand, because I'm required to be in the building. And sometimes it's like, well, a lot of my work is connecting with people and talking to students. And I do a lot of that, but I don't have to be in the building to do that. You know, I like to go out and do outreach stuff and whatever. But sometimes I don't have outreach stuff to do and my class is not going on. And I've worked on all the printouts that I could for my class and I've ordered all the material and I have this stuff, you know, down to a T. Like for my job duty, I'm caught up on everything. And it's like, okay, now what else can I do? And, you know, in those moments, a lot of it is reaching out, you know, trying to email people. But I'm glad I'm not feeling like I'm micromanaged, because I would feel like, oh my goodness, like what, you know, I don't know. You don't have to give me my stuff. My stuff don't always happen during our typical work hours, right? I work outside of work where I'm communicating with people and setting up stuff that, you know, just my job is different than other people in my office. And so people just don't understand how I work. But I got to be in the building. And it's like interesting. If I felt like I was micromanaged, I don't think I could do it.
It's an uncomfortable way to work because while you're working on something, they will come over and rush you through what you're working on. It's like, how you gonna rush me through something that you're interrupting? Like but you keep doing this. Don't, if you want it done, if you feel like I'm not doing it the way you want to do it and you gave it to me to do, like you delegated this to me, then take it back and do it. And delegate something to me that you can let go of.
That used to be in the field. There was a job in particular that stands out when we talk about micromanaging. It was a health facility over by Lloyd Center, healthcare facility. They were doing a remodel and turning it into something new. And I had this foreman. I liked him. He was a good foreman. Like me and him got along, but a lot of people didn't get along with him. Right? He was just a very like straightforward, tell you what he want, know what he expects, and move on. And I get that. Yeah. And so we worked well together. So he had, we're all electricians. We're journeymen or apprentices, and it's like our craft. Like this is what we do, and we know we got to get wire in the building from here to there, and we got these many options, and we run it how we run it. He would say, tell somebody go rope up some rooms. And then come back and complain about how it was roped up. Okay. Because it wasn't his expectation. But he didn't give any expectation, right? And so then it started feeling like everything that he pointed out to people was like, well, he come do it. Like you micromanaging me. Why are you? Who cares how I did it? I got the job done. It just didn't look the way you wanted it to. But it looked okay it's not like, it wasn't me that he was doing this to. It was other people. And I remember thinking about like, dang, I feel like I do that with my kids.
Oh, I hella micromanage my kids.
But I couldn't imagine somebody doing that to me at the workplace. Like, give me a job to do and allow me the time to do it. I'm not going to slack off. I'm use my time efficiently. That just might look different than how you use your time, but I'm going to get the job done.
Learning journey. Because this is not the first time I've realized, like, I do micromanage my kids. But I feel like that comes from, I asked you to do something. Right. And you're not doing it.
At all.
Or if you are doing it, when you could be doing it at a regular pace, you're doing it at a pace. Like, what is this? Like speed it up. And not just because if that was your natural speed at doing this thing, I can understand that. But it's not. That is an attitude or resistance in you that is physically preventing you from completing this task in a timely manner. And it's frustrating for me because just do it and then you're done. So it'd be more stuff like that. Like you walk by and be like, okay, pick up your shoes. Or you're like, y'all get this living room together, and you see them standing around. They got some stuff up, but you see them standing around and it's like, okay, pick up your shoes, make sure you get that, get this, get that. Because
do you need direction? Is that what it is?
Kids' idea of clean sometimes is different, right? To me, like, it's getting everything up and put away. To them, it's, okay, there's no trash, there's no bowls, no cups. Okay, yeah, I see the sweater, but it's clean. And it's even though it's on the floor, it's okay because it's clean. My shoes are together over there instead of in my room, wherever. Like, no. Okay, I appreciate where you guys have gotten so far, but I need y'all to get the clean sweater up off the floor and go put it in the dirty hamper because it's been on the floor. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they need more direction. That's not necessarily, I mean, it feels like micromanaging.
Right, exactly.
But it's not, because if you just got up and did it your way, I wouldn't have to tell you anything.
Right.
But you just stood there like you didn't know what to do. I feel like, and it's the times of you told them to do this and you walked away to give them the time and opportunity to do it. Yeah, and you come back and you're still standing there. And because are you not sure what to do?
Off. Put that phone down.
Right. Like, do you want me to write it out and give you a list? You want me?
Yeah, but that's how I feel.
Tell you what to do.
Supervisors who micromanage, that's how they treat you.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I am doing it. And I'm doing it at the proper pace, and I'm doing it the right way.
Right.
It just feels like, and then like, so when I'm saying this is like, okay, I'm mentally checking myself, but because you walked away and you had a conversation with somebody by the coffee machine, you feel like, oh, that was enough time. You come back and I'm not done, and you want to, okay, well, what have you done? it's been 5 minutes. Go away. I don't do some stuff, if it should be done in 5 minutes, I'll give them 7-8 minutes because, they're kids. Come back. I might just look. I might be like, okay, because they're not done. So I'm going to go back, whatever, come back in 15 minutes. What have you been doing? Well, I was when kids say, I was thinking about how to, no, you don't need to sit here and plan out how to complete this task. Get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, that's a reflection, like a parallel that it's like, it's not the same, but it feels the same.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because if you was doing it, I wouldn't have to come. But Mariah is like, Mariah gets mad because she'll be cleaning the kitchen. Or she'll be in the process of starting, right? And we'll come in and we'll say, this, we just told her before, and it's like, she ain't started yet. Make sure you do this. And she's like, right in the process of, it makes her want to stop everything she's doing. Like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not, because I was doing that. I don't need you to come and tell me what to do next.
That's for Renauda too, except for she'll look at me and she'll say it. She's like, I was literally about to do that. And I can see me coming out of my child who was like, I don't even want to do. Now I'm just gonna stand here.
Right. I have to really pay attention when I walk in the kitchen. Like,
right.
What is she doing before I say something?
Yeah.
But G, he don't care. He gonna come in and tell them anyway. He don't care how they feel. And I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. I try to.
But I think that's because of how that may come from, because of how we would respond if we were them. Because we would be like, all right, well, I was doing that, but now I'm not.
Right.
And he's going to be like, you don't see me doing this? That would be his response, like that. Or what do you think I'm doing? Or whatever. So maybe that's why he's like, well, I don't care. We're more like well, I don't want to shut you down, because that's what I'm telling you.
Right. Don't
tell me what to do while I'm in the middle of doing it. Now I'm not. And I've done that with micromanagers. Like, I know it doesn't look good for the work ethic, but you're not going to come over here and tell me to do what I'm doing in the middle of me doing it. Like, and that probably
do you want to do this?
Right.
Is there, you're more than welcome to take this work if you want to do it yourself. Please. Otherwise, I don't really need your anything, input.
Yeah.
Give me my space. Yeah. I'm so happy I don't work that way. I'm glad I don't work that way. And talking about that, that's where it gets us into transitions.
Right. Because that can push a transition.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
It really can. You'd be like, I'm over this. I can't. Mm-mm. So I just think about like life. I was talking, I think we were talking about just being in different spaces and who we are, right? And how sometimes, I mean, in my mind, I'm just Kennitha Wade. Like, I'm a person like everybody else. I'm no different than nobody in the room, right? We are all the same. We got the same amount of time in a day.
Right.
That's who we are. And so when people mention like your titles out in the community in a space where I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like, why do you know who I am?
Right.
It's interesting. And it just reminds me of like some of the elevations that we make in life. Like, we go from this place to this place, or you start off as somebody who doesn't know anything about something, and then you've got yourself involved with it after so many years. To us, we're just a person. We go to work, we take care of our families, but how you move through the spaces that you're either working in or being in, and your status changes, right? You become one of the important people in the room. And you forget. Well, I forget. I don't. It's not something I think about on a regular basis. Like, who am I to other people? Yeah. Right. To me, I'm just somebody who works. I take care of my kids, and every day I'm just trying to figure out how to make it.
Yeah, that's like you said, like, I don't know who you are, so why do you know who I am, is a weird thing to digest, right? Because if you know who I am, that means we met and I know who you are. But especially doing the things we do, that's not always true. And it's gone back for a long time for me. It's still not something that I've been used to. Like, I spent like the earlier part of my life growing up dating a rapper who was popular in the city we grew up in, and people knowing who I am, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so and so's woman," da da da, and I'm like, "Who are you?" like, because now I'm like, at that time, like, why do you know who I am? Like, I'm just a person that goes to work, tends to whatever. And that was even as a young teenager. Now, fast forward, we're in this space where, like, we put on shows, or people who do comedy, who do poetry, who do music, who, do all this art, and we're like a part of that. And then people are like, oh, you're so and so. And I'm like, or like my brother made a post and somebody had commented, oh, she does poetry, she's so dope, and I was like, I don't even remember meeting this person. I mean, they must have been in the audience or whatever, but all the people who were aware of you that you're not aware of, because you think that everybody is like, what I'm saying, is aware of you. Like, that's it. And that's all. You're aware of them. They're aware of you. But looking at it like how we look at celebrities, I know who Beyonce is. She don't know who I am. I mean, well, I know who she presents to the world. I know of her. But that's a different space, right? But there are people who know you for the things that you do and the things that you are part of, who you may never know their name. You may never see their face, and how that's a weird space to navigate. I was even talking to Faya about that because she was talking about some stuff going on, and maybe we'll bring that up when she come on. But just about people recognizing you, because she was being honored at the show we went to. They were given 10% of the proceeds of the door of the show that we went to. We're going to Faya's Place Productions.
Okay.
So she was like, how did y'all know about me? And I started pointing out people who been to her show or connected to people who, do her show, or connected to me. I've done her show or whatever. And she was like, you don't even think about it like that. And then so we had this conversation as well. Like, there are people who see you who you don't see, or you haven't had the chance to see yet, and vice versa. So it's an interesting space.
It is. And for me, I feel bad because I can't remember nobody's name.
Well, you see 90,000 people a year.
But still, even before I even seen as many people as I see now, I still couldn't remember people's names. And so I feel bad because it's even worse now. Where was, well, two things. It was, I ran into this lady. I did a table at a PCC event this weekend or on Friday. And, I'm there with just a lot of other presenters from either unions or organizations that are just presenting their information to college students, to high school students, anybody who wants to come. It's like a career fair, right? And so I'm just at the table, staffing my table. My whole point is just to have a conversation with people who want to learn about our industry and our program in particular. But, I share information that I think is useful no matter what you want to do. And so as people are coming through, and our table it was very popular, right? Even the first group of people who came in were specifically looking for us. So while everybody else was standing around their table, we're talking to people, and we had a line of people waiting to talk to us. And it was like that the whole event. Okay. It was like, okay, I mean, all right, IBW, everybody want to get in. All right. And this girl come and says hi, and she asked me, how's it going or whatever. And all I know is that maybe I've seen her before, but I don't know her. And she's like, how's it going? Do you remember my name? It's like,
that's deep.
I don't remember your name. And so she, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not good with names. She's like, I came, through Organ Trans Women or whatever for the day. And she was like, oh, okay. That's what's up. I see you still doing that. I say, yeah, but I see a lot of students. Like, I get new students every week, and I can't remember their names, and I see them every single day for 2 weeks. So if I seen you one time, I'm not going to remember your name. And don't take it personal. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's just, I can't remember names to save my life. It can't be some famous person. I don't know. I couldn't tell you who sung a song. Like, that's just not my strong point. And so it's interesting. It's awkward when people do stuff like that.
Yeah. Especially like, I never forget a face, right? So I know if I see your face and you look familiar, I know there's been some sort of, we at least been in the same place, and I've seen your face. But your name, I'm not, and I'm more likely to remember your name if it's unique. If you got a name that's like everybody else's name, I might get the right letter if I'm thinking, but the first letter, then I'm gonna call you everything around your name but what it is. But if you have a more unique name, I found out your name, I knew your name because your name is not everybody else's name, you know. But people be like, you don't remember me from, and I'm like, nope, you gotta give me more than that. Especially if, like you said before, if we didn't have a meaningful interaction, and not saying that other interactions aren't meaningful, but if they can be like, Renauda, this is so-and-so's Renauda, I'm like, hey.
If it's not a personal, like we shared some information and I felt something
connected
from that,
to
you know.
Or it might be like, let's just say it's this chocolate girl with this really bomb burnt orange dress on. I'm going to remember her because of that, like, you know, how that dress pops on her skin and stuff like that. But if you're just wearing a regular outfit, and no, not regular outfits, I like regular outfits, but that's not going to be something that jogs my memory. People also think complimenting you is going to help you remember them. Nope. Because if you tell me, oh, I like your hair, I like that color orange or auburn or whatever, you know, people have said that. Not saying I'm not saying not compliment people, but that's not going to stand out.
Yeah, that's not what's going to make them remember.
Right.
You.
It has to be some sort of connection. And I'm not saying like, oh, we're friends for life, but we have like a decent conversation about something, a topic, you know, whatever. But names, I'll be like, oh, I work with somebody who has a unique name. And for some reason, I couldn't remember her name, but it was more of my mouth didn't want to do what her name says. So, but I got it now and, you know, whatever. But nope. That if you got to ask me, if I haven't said, hey, and not in response to your hey, because.
Well, I'm always going, that's my response. Hey,
that's what I'm saying. If you say hey to me, I'm like, hey. And then I'll turn to somebody like Kennitha and be like, I don't know who that is.
Oh my gosh. My Donna is good for this. She'll introduce me to somebody and she wants me to ask them their name, but I don't always catch the social cues. Right. Yeah. And I'm always like, you know, like, why? In my mind, what are you introducing me to this person for? And this is what I'm thinking. In her mind, she's like, ask them their name. And I'm like, and then she'll have to kick me or something. And I'm like, oh, and what's your name? Because
just tell me before I come over there or before they get here. Like, hey,
it'll be by chance. I just walk up and say something. And she's like, oh, and this is Kennitha Wade. And
yeah, you're supposed to be like that. I have learned to get. And I'm like, hi, and you are
right. That's
what you're supposed to do.
In my mind, I'd be like, why they introduce
hi
me
and you are hi and you are. Help your people.
I'm working on it. But don't call me if I'm the wrong person. So now everybody knows. If you need help because you need somebody to tell you their name, don't come asking me to come over there. I'm not going to be no help because I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Unless we talk about it.
If I introduce you to somebody and I don't give you their name, I need you to ask because I don't know.
See, and that has to take a conversation.
Every time, all the time.
That was never a conversation. And so I was like coming in and it'd be like, I want you to, it's like, was I supposed to just know that?
Every time, all the time. Here the other night I said Kennitha, so-and-so, Kennitha, because I know both y'all names. Otherwise, if I'm like, this is Kennitha, that's where you're supposed to be like, hi, and you are?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to just randomly text you, hi, and you are?
Yes.
Help you work on it.
I need help because I don't be thinking about nobody. I guess that's it. I don't really be thinking about who's in the room and why, and you know, I don't know what I can do for them and why I or they are important in the moment. Like
circling back to the whole subject matter of the whole, you know, we feel just a regular person walking around, not saying that anybody's above anybody, but just how many people recognize you. I think maybe the reason why we don't look at it like that, like I'm not an expert in this thing, but people think you are. It's part of people being like, oh, they're doing something I want to do, I don't know how to do, or I wish I could do, which you can. You just apply yourself. There's a lot of stuff we wasn't doing none of this 6 months ago, you know, but then we decided, hey, let's do some stuff, and stuff started happening. But looking at ourselves just like as regular people walking around the room, I'm not looking at anybody like they're any sort of celebrity. Everybody's just a regular person to me. Everybody has their skills, their talents, and, you know, whatever. And it's weird. It's still weird to accept that people are like, oh, that's so-and-so. And you be like, who? They talking about you.
Yeah. What that just said. We just, you know, doing it up in the trades or whatever. It's like, yeah, you know, just going to work, taking care of my kids. And they were like, and sitting on the council. And I was like, who are you? And why are you telling people what I do? And then I was like, why do you know that I sit on the council? And I had to think about it. Like, oh, you know, I'm not in I guess when I'm at home, I'm not really in that environment where the stuff that I do for work matters.
That part.
Yeah. So it's like it was just weird. It's like, oh, okay. I forgot where I was at.
Yeah. Oh, and then the contrast being, because I've been in that space and work, people are like, oh, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, how am I like, there's people who is like, okay, they're the CEO or they're the exec team or whatever. And you expect people to kind of fangirl or fanboy out towards them. But then people be like my last job, oh, you know, Renauda, she sits on the equity council. Oh, you know, she's a part of the arts and climate committee. And then it's like, I am just an employee who saw some stuff that looked like it'd be interesting. So I went to go see what it was about. And, you know, if I have an opinion, I'm definitely going to share it. So you don't necessarily, with those, you don't see the direct impact, you know, in that moment. But what I found that's different in our art spaces is you can see it, but it still don't feel like something that would pump your head up. It's more of like, I'm so happy you enjoyed it. Like at the Paint and Zips, it's always like, people are like, I had such a good time. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. It's not like, yeah, you know, it's like, I'm glad you had fun. That's why we did this. Or people are like, oh, these pictures are so good. Like, it's like Diamond. She is like, I don't care when y'all throw a paint sip, you can throw it in 3 days. I'll be there, because she is a painter, and coming and painting is, a happy place for her.
It's like therapy.
Right. And then it's like, you're just happy that you helped somebody, or not even help them, but provided an atmosphere for someone to be able to have a good time. And I think there's other people who maybe when they look at people in certain levels, the reason it's different for them is because it's like, look what I did. But it's for us, it's more like, oh, I'm so glad you had fun. And they're like, thank you so much. I'm like, no. You came here and you made it what, like, you being here helps to create the vibe here. And I think that's dope. And I think that's the difference in, like, maybe why it's just we're just regular people.
Facts.
But it's weird having people look at you like you're not just a regular person. All people are just regular people. I don't care who they are.
Facts. All of us. Yeah. All right. We wanted to give a update. I guess the next part was we were going to give an update on Auntie. If you've watched past episodes, my aunt was she was our first guest. She's actually a big reason I came up with the idea of this podcast in the first place. It was because of conversations with her. And so this week she's been in the hospital. She's doing okay. She you know, but she's getting up there. She's about to be 82 in December. But yeah, she's been in the hospital. She took a fall and she had I don't know. They don't know really what happened yet, you know, but somebody found her and got her to the hospital. And she was sedated for a couple of days, and now she's awake and ready to get back moving. And so she wants to come back on the show. So we'll try to do that in the future. But just wanted to kind of give a moment, I guess, to recognize her. She cracks me up. I was showing her pictures of, you know, like just family members and people, and she was having a hard time recalling people, but then I showed her a picture of her old friend and she started crying. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not trying to make you cry, but like Auntie. And so it was, you know, she likes to just sit and talk. You know, she just want to be heard. And I feel like that is something that all folks want. They just want to be heard. Like, you know, let me tell you about my day. You can let somebody sit there and vent for an hour, you know, and just let them get it out. You ain't got to fix the problem. You just let them talk, It ain't gotta make no sense. When I stopped by my cousin's house yesterday, I was listening to my auntie talking, she's just talking. I don't know what she was talking about, but she wanted to keep on talking. So I just let her talk. I was watching somebody make faces like, what the hell are they even talking about? I don't care what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She just wanted to talk. I'm standing here and talk to her because I ain't seen her in forever. And she came upstairs, and she normally stay downstairs. So it's like, she upstairs. She want to talk. Let's go ahead and talk.
Yeah. I think that's a gift that a lot of people don't have, is allowing people to just talk. A couple things. Part of why I wanted to do this is because I love storytellers, period. I feel like Talk to Them is a place where people are allowed to tell their story, in how they view it, and just raw, right? So I love listening to people talk. That started with my grandparents. I know I've said that before on here. Listening to them talk all the time about their lives, and I forgot why I was saying that, but the whole point is this is allows people to get it out. Oh, that's what I was saying, that people don't have that gift of just allowing people to talk and let them speak their piece without interrupting or whatever. You have to learn when people, and this is something I used to not be able to do. You have to learn when people are telling you something because they need to get it off their chest, versus people telling you something because they want your help solving a problem. I am a fix it person. You tell me there's a problem, well, let's fix it. I'm gonna start running down, what your options are, and I'm not gonna make your choice for you, but these are your options. This is what I hear you saying. This is what it sounds like happened. This may be some holes that you might be missing because you're looking at this from an emotional point of view because you experienced this situation. But I had to start realizing, because I heard someone say to somebody one time, I just want to talk. I don't need you to fix anything. And I was like, okay. They weren't saying that to me, but it was like one of those moments where, okay, I hear what you're saying to this other person.
How many people feel that way.
Exactly. I'd go through that all the time. I feel like we both do that. Like, I wonder how many people think that, because so then for a while with my friends, I started practicing. Do you, because somewhere else I heard, like, do you want me to help you? Do you want a solution, or do you just want me to listen?
Right.
And then I started to learn my friends well enough to know, okay, when they start talking, I know this is I just need to get all this off my chest. Now, sometimes at the end of it, I'll still say, okay, but just FYI, blah, blah, blah. Because whatever they might have said was just crazy. Like, I just want you to understand that, the consequences to this conversation could be, because as your friend, if I don't tell you, like, I'm not your friend. Like, I think me and G were having that conversation. Like, I was like, I love a good I told you so. So I will tell you, and like, and I will try my hardest not to say I told you so, but I'll find some way. If I don't use those words, I'll find some way to do it. And I've just accepted that about myself. And then he was like, but you know what? I prefer I told you so person over I seen it coming person. And I was like, you know what? Right. Because why wouldn't you tell me? If you walking through there and I'm like, no, Kennitha, that's a glass door. Then you might still walk through it because you wasn't listening. But I told you. You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't tell you and I watched you do it, I can't say I love you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, my point is, I started listening to people and letting them just get it out, because sometimes people go into these other spaces of all kinds of crazy stuff, drugs or suicidal ideation, like all this stuff, because they have no one to talk to, no one to, or not even nobody to talk to, no one to listen to them.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what I want to talk about. That's why with my kids, I try and be patient with, they have those stories sometimes where you just like, Lord Jesus, somebody help me.
Right.
Like, but they just want to talk to you. They just want to be connected. Right. And you're like, I don't have time.
I ain't got time for that.
But it'd be like, okay, breathe and focus and listen, ask clarifying questions, let them know that you understand, be present, because I don't want my kids to ever be one of those people who feel like they have no one to talk to.
Right.
And then, whatever. So I think it's important to have those spaces where, yeah, you listen to your auntie talk. it might not have, none of it could have made sense to you, but it doesn't matter. You guys had a moment, you had a connection, and she more than likely felt better just talking to somebody who wanted to listen.
Yesterday, that just felt like the theme. Like, I was not in a rush at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yesterday was also the anniversary of my mom's death, but like, met up with family, listened to them talk, went and met my auntie, listened to her, went and see my other auntie and listened to her. I just, taking time, sitting at the store, craft store. And that's how I was like in line for so long, just kind of just chilling, not in a rush, not in a whatever. And until I realized, okay, why am I still here?
Yeah.
I made that post about yesterday, but it was like, I wasn't really bothered necessarily. It was just, interesting watching their customer service at the store. And like, I'm just waiting patiently, and then recognizing what really is happening. It was like, okay, you know what? Like, now I don't know what this is, but no, thank you. I watch you walk around, help this person and that person, and I'm just standing here, next person in line. It's like, why wouldn't you come help your one cashier? You're not doing anything, and you see that this customer is taking a really long time, and instead of helping the next customer in line, you go help the person that went around them to go to the self-checkout, and you check out her stuff.
That's crazy.
And it was like, okay. Yeah, no.
I'd have dropped everything.
I did. I left the cart right there where I was standing, and I walked out. All the stuff in it. It's just like, that's horrible customer service. And I was wondering, is somebody going to come help her before they pull me out this line? And they did. And then she just rang her stuff up for her. It was like,
what's the point of self-checkout if you got to go over there and check them out? And why are you ignoring the next person in line to help? That's crazy.
Right. It was two other people.
But you know what they're probably doing? Not excusing that at all, because that's horrible. But they're trying to get people,
forcing people
fluid with the use of the fluent. I'm sorry, and the use of their self-checkout. So if I help you next time, you're gonna come just do it. You know what I'm saying? And then punishing you for waiting in line when you could have went to self-checkout. To force that narrative. I know that's a hot button subject for you.
It is.
But it's like, that's what they're doing.
That's okay. I'll wait. The lady she offered. She was like, if you want, the self-checkout is open.
They always do.
She said, this register here is open. I started to go. She was like, it's a self-checkout. And I backed right back into where I was. And she started laughing. She said, okay, I get it. Like, I'm just trying to support y'all's jobs. That's it. And I'm not here to work.
I wanted to bring up an incident that you had this week with the children and shopping. Because we want to talk about kids holding their parents accountable. And I bring this up because you were not alone, but I just thought it was hilarious. And the Michaels thing reminded me of it.
What's funny is that I was like, I guess it's just another opportunity where I really didn't need the shit that I had.
Right.
And so it naturally happened because I was just like, I really don't need this bigger canvas so I can go home and paint some more stuff. And I don't need this. And I was like, I just walked away from the basket, but I was really about to spend a good $200 some for what? Because I wanted to be creative. I was feeling so creative yesterday. I walked away. I just went home and I think I stopped at the Dollar Tree and got some little 11 by 14 boards and was like, I'm just going to draw on these. But yeah, I didn't appreciate them kids doing that. Yeah. So what had happened was last weekend, I took my kids out. We went to downtown Gresham. We were just walking around and I was taking all kind of pictures and videos. I was trying to learn how to make a reel. And so I was doing that. And we went to eat and there was like a little Native American setup or something down there. And you could buy original handcrafted things. And then we walked into a candy store and a toy store and a game store. And then they wanted to go to this thrift store that was down there. I'm like, okay, cool. I like a good thrift store. I can find all kinds of stuff in the thrift store. So we in the thrift store and we're just looking. I don't know what exactly they were looking for. They're just looking at stuff. And then they left me. They went to this other side of the thrift store. Well, when they left me, I started finding things that I like and that I feel like I could use today.
You said today?
Today.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I could use this. I pick up this and I'll pick up this. And now next you know, when they come back, I got like all these things that I'm about to buy. And you know, one is like the thing, I'm about to install this thing on the wall for the paper towels because I'm tired of that little one that goes on the counter. And I'm about to do this. And I'm about to do that. Little G gonna look at me and say, Mom, no. I said, excuse me? I don't need your permission to buy this. Absolutely. Like, this is my money that's going to pay for it. You know, like, what? He's like, Mom, we don't need that. And I'm like, hold on now. Now I'm feeling some kind of way because what do you mean? And they like start taking stuff. He's like, Mom, nope, we don't need that. This, what are you even going to do with this? And he starts putting it back. And he told me there was one thing he said I could have. That, okay, you can have that. And I was like, I don't know how I feel. I feel like, hold on now, whose side are you on? Because I feel betrayed. Like, how y'all? And then after I left, I was like, I really didn't need none of that. None of it. So I'm happy they did that because I will just buy stuff because I could just see making something or using it. Like, do I really need? I don't need none of this mess.
But your kids, it's a good trait for them to be able to hold people. It do. Because you know what? I have a tendency to make plans and be very upset that I made those plans. Because past Renauda had no idea what future Renauda was going to be feeling like. So I don't know why she keep making plans for her. Right? And so I'll be getting dressed all frustrated because I'm like, I'd rather just be at home watching a movie, or I go to your house and watch a movie. That's never a problem because that's basically the same thing. I don't want to be outside doing stuff. And there was a point in time where every day after work, I had something to do. It was before we started doing this. So Saturday and Sunday, I had several events and I was over it. And Renauda was like, well, why don't you stop making so many plans with people when you don't want to be doing it? Like, you promised, so now you have to get up and go. She's talking to me like I'm the child. She's like, now you have to get up and go. And I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I'm an introvert. I flake on plans all the time. But at the same time, I'm trying to do better. And if I say I'm going to do something, unless I fall asleep because I have no control over that. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm trying to go do it. And that segues me to Friday when we finally made it. Well, let's just start with this. So Friday we get off work. I want to go take a nap, but I can't because I feel like every time I take a nap, we never make it to midnight, Mike. But and then you had all your ripping and running back and forth with kids to sports or to G to practice, and then Mayana to wherever she was spending the night that weekend because she has a social life. And I also felt like I don't think it's fair that I take a nap while you be having to do all this ripping and running. We supposed to be out at the same time. And you get up or you be at work, you know what I'm saying, by the time I get up. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to take a nap. So I don't remember what all I was doing in that process. I was doing something, but eventually I got home and I was like, okay, I need to take a shower, get ready, blah, blah, blah. And then my friend, who ends up being her cousin, which was crazy, just how small Portland is, but was like, hey, I got a show, at 8:00, blah, blah. And I'm like, you want to go? And she's like, yeah. So then I'm like, damn it. Because then I just squished the time that I have, but I'm trying to also fill the time so I don't go to sleep. So whatever, feeling some type of way. I go get ready. We go over there. They find out they're cousins. They're Kiki, Ken, and this person, that person, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
She didn't look too happy.
It is what it is. And then, but that was fun. That was a good time, renting a fire there. And then, what did we do? Oh, we were hungry. And Kennitha was like, well, you want to eat here? And apparently everything on my face said, hell no.
I didn't want to get something to eat here. She said, it was an automatic. I said, okay, never mind. She was like, oh, like.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know I did it until she said something. But I was just looking around and I was like, no. So we went to Norma Jean's and ran into G, who was not a part of the plan. We had a good time, had some food, kicked it for a little while. Then it was time to go to Midnight Mike. And we made it for the first time in months.
That was hard.
And it was a struggle.
It was a struggle.
I don't know how many of y'all do Midnight Mics, but they really start at midnight. And we were sitting there super tired for hours. Or after the show, I was like, man, Midnight Mike is 3.5 hours away.
Right. I was like, why are we going to Midnight Mike again? What are we doing?
Because we said we were going to.
And then we went, and I was like, okay, I think we
made it. And then that was a struggle.
And they had 2 more people, I think, to go on. It was like, okay, we gotta go.
We couldn't take it.
It's time to go. I like just having something to do on Friday, but it don't have to be Midnight Mike, because
I think we had to make it.
I think we have to do something else. I think we need to find a different thing on Friday to do that doesn't start at midnight
so late. Yeah,
because I can't do that.
It should be over by midnight.
That could be like, if we still feel like doing something at midnight, we can go to Midnight Mike. But just getting outside on a Friday, I think.
We might have to rotate things to do on Fridays. Like find something. Because I don't know if there's going to be something that happens on Fridays that we're going to want to do every Friday. Because we're not like, let's go to the club people. So that's not a thing for us. So maybe we try a different restaurant. Oh, bowling. I love bowling. We both love bowling. We're both good at bowling. So
my friends were talking about that. Maybe we need to start a bowling night again. Yeah, maybe we do that on Fridays.
Okay, we can do that.
We used to do that at Hollywood Bowl every Monday. It was like $2 bowl. Everybody, we had our balls and our shoes. We'd show up and bowl.
Yeah,
I missed that. That was like everybody used to come through on a Monday.
We used to do. We'd have like in the summertime. Me and Ari would be like, "It's summertime, time to sign these kids up for bowling." So then we just go. We'd have to pay for us, but they'd have their free bowling,
a free pass.
Like bowling. Like I even had like a couple bowling parties, and then so the last year, they're like, "What you gonna do? A bowling party?" And I was like, "Don't do that. If you don't like to bowl, just say you don't like to bowl." And they're like, "Well, no, we'll go bowling because you want to bowl." And I'm like, I don't need y'all to bowl. I go bowl by myself.
Bowling is fun.
It is.
It's not something you just go do because somebody else want to do it.
Right.
You like, I don't know. How do you not enjoy bowling? I don't know. Maybe it's the competitiveness. And I don't necessarily be trying to kill nobody. I just want to see what I can do. It's
how well I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, winning obviously is
That's nice.
Great. But at the same time, I know I'm rusty because I didn't have these, back situations, but I'm trying to improve every time I go. But then also my uncle was in a bowling league, so he had us in bowling alleys since we was kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a me against myself against y'all. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't beat y'all, as long as I have improved from the last time I was there, then I'm good.
Right.
But do I want to beat y'all? Yeah.
Of course I want to win.
It is what it is. I don't know. It's like you said, I don't know how people don't like bowling. Unless you're a person that just doesn't like sports or activities. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, let's do that. We'll look into that. I know we was talking about it as a group, but it's like, that's going to be just
like one day a week thing.
Yeah.
And also our game nights, maybe doing that on Fridays again, because we were doing that like regularly. But they don't also have to be in the house game nights. It could be like, okay, well, let's go to whatchamacallit downtown and go run around doing whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. We need something to do on Friday.
Friday outings. Yes. I know there'll be football games, so we have to sometimes after the football game or in lieu of.
Yeah, because I still ain't seen Mari play, and I need to go. And I could have went, but I had already made those plans. And I was like, it's so cold.
I can't see you sitting outside in the cold.
But I'm going to have to because it's cold when football's on. So, But yeah, I need to go see him play.
Yeah.
I ain't going to say I've never seen him play. It's been a minute since I've seen him play. I'll say that. I haven't seen him this year.
All right, we're about getting ready to wrap it up.
Yes.
Now we got to think about our gym of the week. What is our gym of the week?
I think I'm gonna go. My gym's gonna be about them kids holding us accountable for stuff. I think as adults, people tend to think that kids don't have anything to offer, and it's weird because remember being a child, and I remember having perspectives and thoughts and opinions and ideas that my mom allowed me to express, respectfully, of course, and you know. Your kids holding you accountable, mine holding me accountable. Like mine will do it too with one day I'm gonna eat all my food. And if I don't, I'm gonna take my leftovers home and I'm gonna warm them up the next day and I'm going to eat them. My kids will be like, Mom, you're not even gonna eat that. Like, why are you ordering that? You're not even gonna eat that. And I'm like, yes, I will. The next day, Donald will be like, can I have this? And I'll be like, yeah. Because, whatever, that's just how I'm set up. But I think allowing your kids to hold you accountable because they're around you the most, and they can see you in ways, like, I feel like our kids hold us accountable not in a disrespectful way, right? I feel like it's a form of respect in a way because it's like, well, you said this is what you wanted to do, so why are you doing the opposite? To me, that means that they believe in the things that we say and the things, you know what I'm saying? Like, they believe that we are who we are. We are who we say we are. And right. we want to do what we say we want to do. That means that they look up to us and they value what we say and, whatever. So I feel like taking my kids, holding me accountable to stuff, especially like my daughter with me being late. I'm sorry. I am habitually late. I don't know how to fix it. I try. Sometimes I'm on time. My daughter, I'm a Libra, whatever. I'm an air sign. I just go with the flow. She's a Virgo. She's an earth sign. She's very fixed. It said we had to be there at 8:00. If we're not there by 7:50, I don't know why you're playing with me. Those things are important. I feel like they make you better and they help you reflect on the things that you've said, the things you were holding yourself accountable for. They're just your outside accountability voice. Not saying they have to be, but in those moments, it's okay. Allow your kids to, I don't want to say check you because that sounds a little more aggressive, but, hold you accountable. Allow them to speak freely and respectfully, because they have valuable opinions and observations as well.
I like that. Oh man, I got so many options for a gym. Mine is check on your loved ones and give them the space to just speak freely. Be an outlet for them, especially those that live alone or who spend a lot of time alone in solitude. Because that's not always ideal. Maybe that's not really what they want, but that's just life and how they have to live. But go visit your family, check on them, and then give them a space and opportunity to talk freely and just hear them out. And, don't hold anything against them. Just listen. You might hear a good story that's worth listening to. You can ask questions probably that you have never asked before, right? And jog their memory about a time in life that was, something that they probably would love to remember. Or hopefully not something they don't want to remember, right. But, still talk to people, talk to your family, check in with them and just check in with them about life.
And to that, believing whatever their perspective is, because I like to say all the time, people hate when I say this, but perception is reality. And it doesn't mean it's the actuality, right? And I've had people hate that I say this, but how you perceive this moment is your reality. How I perceive this moment is my reality. Actuality is something that we do not have a viewpoint on. That's Most High, God, energy, universe, however you want to call it. It's the only one that has a perspective on actuality, because even watching this back, it's your perception is still going to be your reality, which still may be different from mine. And just understanding that that's really where they're coming from, because that's what they believe, unless they're obviously lying to you. That's a different story. But, you know, how they remember or perceive something is their reality, and that's their truth. And just, you know, I'm not saying let people blatantly, you know, just rewrite history, but, you know, just allowing that that's how they experience that moment.
Yeah. Don't argue somebody their point of view.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. This has been Talk to Them, where every story matters.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.